Hey guys, here's a short tutorial video showing you how to draw this part here in Lab 4. Some features we'll use here are the extrusion feature if you used. We'll learn how to work with the hole feature and also use a sweep. Okay, so when you look at this part, I know it looks a little complex and you think, well, where in the world do I start? Remember, start by trying to make it simple and then adding complexity from there. One thing we recognize, let's see that this flange section is the same as this flange section. So I don't want to draw them twice, I just want to draw one and then somehow pattern it to be over here. And then basically all I need to do is connect them with a sweep like this. Okay, and I have the profile for the sweep here is this hole. Alright, so let's just get started and let's draw this flange here, which we can see better in this view here. Alright, so let's start with that. Here we go, I'll make a sketch. Just pick any plane here. Let's get some dimensions. This main circle here is 50 diameter and then 25 diameter on the end. Okay, and it's 70 millimeters from this hole to this hole. So let's take that big idea there. And there's the 50. Alright. Now I want to make the one that's 25 here. Alright, now this is not locked on that horizontal line though, so I want to make sure that it's always horizontal here. So I'm going to do that by drawing a construction line that's locked there, and notice there this constraint here pops up, so now that line can't be moved. So now I can go put the coincident constraint and make the center on here. Alright. Well, now I can add the dimension to, let's say, make this circle the right distance away from the center. And remember, it was 70 divided by 2. Okay, and why divided by 2? Because it's 70 from here to the other circle here. Alright. Okay, make sure to turn my construction line off now. Now I just want to connect these two circles with a line that's tangent to them. Okay, so I'll start a line here. First, I'm just going to draw a line that's snapped to the circles, but notice this line is not tangent. Okay, so I can add that by using the tangent constraint. Let's make this tangent with that, and then this tangent with that. Okay, now it's blue. You see that it's fully constrained. I can do the same thing down here. First, just snap it to the circles and then go through and add in the tangent constraints. Alright. Now I've only done half of it, and that's fine because this thing is symmetric about this axis here, this plane. So why don't I go ahead and extrude that. I want to extrude this. And this part as well. The thickness is 8. Alright, and now to get the other half, I can just simply mirror this. Let's go to mirror. I want to mirror that whole feature. Now I need to select the plane, so let's click here. Let's go find a plane. Not that one, not that one. There you go, that one there. Alright. Now I just need to put some holes in it. Okay, let's go look at these holes. Let's say these holes at first here. It's a hole that's called a countersink hole. You can see what it's like here on this cross section view, or on the hidden line. Sorry, that shows the countersink hole. It's 90 degrees. You have 11 millimeters. That's this hole that goes all the way through. And then the larger hole is kind of cut at an angle is 20 millimeters. Okay, well let's use that. Let's use the hole feature here, and we'll make it simple. So let's make a sketch here. Now, since I don't use the hole feature, all I want to do is just tell it where I want to put the hole. I want to put the hole here on the same center as this line here. Alright. So all I did was put a point there. Now when I click on hole feature, it knows I want my hole to start at that point. Okay. And now let's select the type of hole. It's a countersink hole here. This one is 20. Here's the 90 degrees that's already set, and the through is 11. Okay, now my termination is already set to through all, which is good. And there's no threads, so I don't need to click on the threads. It's not a tapped hole. Alright, that's good. There it is, easy enough. Alright, now just simply mirror that to the other side. Okay, and now I need to put in the other big hole in the center here. And let's see how that's defined. It's 35 millimeters through, 40 millimeters on the big outer circle, okay, and 90 degrees, and it's right in the center. Now, notice that one's going to start from the bottom, not from the top, because this angled piece is actually would be on the bottom side, not on this top side here. So be careful about that. So let's start the sketch here. And all I'm going to do is put a point right there in the middle, and that tells the whole feature where I want to start. Let's go check these dimensions again, 35 and 40. Okay, so this is 40, that's 35, that's through all. Alright, there we go. Okay, so guys, if you haven't saved your work, make sure to save your work. Go ahead and do that now. Alright. Okay, now I've already drawn one of these. Now I just want another one to be over here. Okay, so how can I do that? Well, let's look here. It's not I guess it'd be difficult to use a mirror. But what about a rotation? What if I took this and just rotated it up here? Well, what axis would that be rotating around? Well, that'd be rotating around an axis that's located here that is coming out of the computer screen. Okay, I just want to rotate around like this. Alright, well, now let's go make an axis that I can rotate on. Again, I want an axis that basically goes through a point right here that's out of the computer screen. Okay, so remember how we can make different planes? Well, in the same way, we can make different axes like this. The one I'm going to use is normal to a plane through a point here. Okay, so I first need a point. So I'm going to sketch a point on this plane. Let's make a sketch. All I'm going to do is put a point here. And then I'm going to define the height of that point. The height of that point, here's what I need to do. That 105 millimeters defines up to the center of this. Okay. Alright, so there's a point. And now let's go create an axis here that is normal to a plane. I want it to be through that point, but it's going to be perpendicular to that plane. And look at that yellow line that's made there. It's kind of hard to see with my coloring, but you see that yellow line? Okay. Now watch what I can do here. With that, now I can do a circular pattern. I can take all of this, make sure you get all of it. Okay, the extrusion, the mirror, the hole, the other hole, all of that. Let's click this rotation axis. That's the axis that I want to do, and you can see what's happening. Okay, now I don't want 6 of them, I just need 2. Well, that's going all the way around. I don't need to go that far. I only need to go 90 degrees. You can see what that's doing there, right? Alright, so let's click on OK. And you can see I've just rotated that over there. Easy enough. Alright, so now the last thing is fairly easy. All I need to do is just do a sweep that connects this surface down here to this surface. Okay, so the first thing is I'll go create the sweep path, and then I'll make the profile. So let's go ahead and make the path here. Alright, now I want my path to start on the surface of this. So I'm going to project that geometry into the sketch there, and project this geometry into the sketch. Now if I click on this button, this slices the graphics, and you see all that does, it just makes a cut so I can see the plane directly that I'm sketching on. Okay, now let's just go create this line. It's going to start right there, come up, then there'll be a curved part, and it's going to come snap there. Okay, well, now let's add in some dimensions to make this right. Okay, let's look at a dimension. I want a radius of this curve here. Notice I'm given the radius of this outer curve and the inner curve, but I want one that goes along the middle. Now how can I find that? Well, it's basically, it would be the average of these two. It would be one right in the middle between 86.5 and 43.5. So let's do that. Let's add that dimension there. When I put in this dimension, let's do the average of 86.5 plus 43.5, and then divide that by 2. So that will give me the value that's right in the middle. Okay, well that's correct on the curve, but oh, look at this though. This is not perpendicular any longer, and that's not tangent, but that's not a problem. I can fix that by using my constraints. Okay, so one thing I can do is use a tangent constraint and make this tangent with that. Alright, but now this isn't perpendicular. Well, I have a perpendicular constraint. Let's make this perpendicular with that. There you go. Now notice here, that line is blue. It's fully constrained. Okay, so there's my path. Now all I need to do is get the profile. Okay, the outer diameter of this. Well, so the hole is 35 millimeters through. Okay, and then you see that the outer diameter is 43. Okay, so 43 and 35 are the two I'm wanting to use. Alright, so I could either make my profile on this plane or this plane. It does not matter. I'll do it on this plane. Okay, well, look, let's just bring in this circle, because that's the circle for the inside hole. Okay, so all I'll do is project that geometry, and now I just need to draw another one for the outer. It's 43. Okay, so now from there I can use the sweep. Here's the sweep. Let's sweep this along this path. There you go. Alright, now we're looking good, guys. The final thing I need to do is just add in a couple fillets here. That's a radius of 4, and I've got it. I can just add in the fillet there and the fillet there. That's a radius of 4. There's the part. Fairly simple. I hope that was helpful. Now y'all should be able to be successful in drawing most types of parts.